Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing really well. It's been 2 days without an update simply because the price action is not really indicative of any specific direction. What I mean by that, if I'm switching on to the micro count here, since the low we had made on the 10th of October, we do have 5-wave move up. Previous video I made, the last one, prices were, I think it was Friday last week. Prices were somewhere, I think somewhere there. And I had this break of market structure level right here. And I said, should price make a new high, then we could move this break of market structure level to the most recent low preceding the new high. Yeah. And so over the weekend, I think it was Sunday, we made a run up to 69,525. And so I moved the break line of market structure. Now, the expectation was that we would form a top locally because the count, if it is correct, then if you look at it, we have a 1, a 2, and within a third, we have 5-wave that also included this expanding, broadening sort of triangle or an inverse triangle, if you want to call it that way, because usually triangle, they tend, as time is passing, they tend to narrow down, whereas this one is widening as time is passing. So that was the wave 4 of 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal for a 5 of 3. And then a simple ABC down for 4. And then we go on again to make a third, a fourth, and a 5 of 5. So technically, this move has stopped 5 impulsive motive waves on the, 21st of October. Now, if the count is correct and that's a 5 of 5, then that means it's a 1 complete. Yeah, and what should follow is a wave 2. There is a very high probability that a wave 2 is unfolding, and that wave 2, we should expect it in the form of an ABC. And if my count is correct, within a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now what appears to be an ABCDE triangle being formed. So that's a 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, and we should expect a 3 up for E. Now, this triangle is not a pure Elliott triangle, even though it has so far 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, simply because the C is above the A. So respectively, it is above for like 30 or 40 bucks. Yeah, on a price, on an asset price that is above 67K, does 30 bucks matter a lot? I don't know. I will let you be the judge of that, but it doesn't change the overall structure. So we have 5 down for A. It appears that the B is going to be done as a triangle, and then we should look for 5 down for C. Now, this is where the catch is coming. This A, B, C as a 5, 3, 5 might actually be the A leg of a larger ABC that is composing the wave 2 we're looking for. Yeah, so there should be still locally a tiny run up for the E to form, and then a rather more impulsive move down for the C. But that should be the only move we should see for the A leg. And then we should see 3 up for the B, and then 5 down for the C. That would complete wave 2. Remember, I said if this is a 5 of 5, then it's a 1. And then we should have a wave 2 in an ABC. Okay, this wave 2, if you take the bottom start point of wave 1 and the top of wave 1, this wave 2 could find support from 64,000 and some change all the way down to 63.88. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised that price hit the 70.2% at 61,900. to actually make a bounce and reverse. But that's for the micro count. So you can hear in the vocabulary I choose on purpose that there is still a lot of not assumption, but if that, then this happened. And so far the count appears to be valid with the data we have. And so we look now for a tiny run up for wave E of B to form, and then 5 down for the wave C to form. If you like the content so far, leave me a comment, put a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Now, this count here is nothing unexpected, yeah? And it still fits within the two scenarios that I'm running for quite some time now, which is either a diagonal move for Bitcoin or a motive impulse wave. So both are bullish in the short term. However, the diagonal one, maybe I start with this one. With this recent run up, I came to the conclusion that the diagonal, I'm going to move to the 4-hour, maybe it's going to be easier to look at. The diagonal move that we started early August with a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are in the way of process of making a fifth. This diagonal scenario is still valid because it hasn't been invalidated. We would have to break below 58,957 rather soon to invalidate the count, because we would fall short of a fifth wave. I saw a few videos online where those that are tracking the diagonal scenario have placed a top here for the fifth wave, and now they expect to move down for a wave 2. Theoretically, it's correct. After a fifth of a diagonal, you expect a 2 to form as a deep retracement. But this cannot be the fifth wave of the diagonal, because it's a 5 sub-wave move count. And if you look at the way the diagonal was constructed, it started with a 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. And now we should have 3 up also. So ideally, you want to leave the 5 away. You want to keep the A, the top that we made this weekend, as the A. And now you look for a move down to complete the B. Yeah, and then another move up to complete the C. Like I was saying, this triangle idea hasn't been invalidated, so I keep it. However, I shifted the probabilities to a much lower degree, simply because of the shape that it's taking. You would essentially end up with a very extended fifth wave for this, I said triangle, it's not correct, diagonal, leading diagonal. It's not forbidden within the Elliott wave theory. However, when price starts to transform or evolve into something that appears to be pulled too much in a direction, more often than not, it's not what is unfolding. Yeah, so I keep the count alive because like it wasn't invalidated, it's still accurate. And so now we should look for a B down. And that fits also with the micro counts I was describing just earlier. Yeah, the count that has gained more strength, according to me, is the motive wave, the impulse wave. The impulse started like August 1st, 2nd, and within the third wave that should aim for, what is it, 83,173. So minimum expected target or reasonable target for a wave 3 in brackets is 83K. Within that third in brackets, we are at the moment doing a second wave. We look for a second wave to form, and this is what I was mentioning. The second wave should be an ABC. And now price appears to be in the process of making the A of this ABC. Yeah, so there is still some fluctuation to be expected for this wave to come down. So not much to say at the moment. I think if we see a price really spike up and break to new highs without making first a new low as wave A completed, then that would invalidate this part of the count and something else is at play. An impulse of a much larger degree is probably unfolding. But so far we keep the counts like that. If I look at the technical side now, Not much surprise has happened. Price have made a run through the midpoint of this resistance that I was tracking for quite some time at, what was it, 68, almost 69 bucks, 69,000. One thing that surprises me is the velocity or the aggressivity of the rejection is rather tamed. Provided that it's only the beginning of this correction that we are expecting after a 5-wave move up, it's rather gentle. Yeah, so it's just a feeling, okay? It doesn't mean anything, but it's just an observation. I mean, if you look at prior moves we had when we reached this descending trend line that is capping the price down since mid-March, well, it's rather sudden, like, boom, there is a big rejection, a big sell-off, boom, this one was actually quite spicy. But this one is rather tamed. On the 4-hour charts, there are some demand areas that could be of interest for people to look at longing the market. One is the immediate one I could identify is between 64,768 and 65,607. Yeah. And coincidentally or not, if you take a fib retracement between the top and the bottom that we made on this large correction, you end up having the 70.2% right within that demand zone. This 70.2%, I've said it time and time again, is really a key level whenever prices are retracing. Break through it, that's an indication you might end up going higher. Arrive at this level and then reject, then you're down for move back down quite sharply. Price have broken through it. They even went short of this 85.4% at 69,545. So it would not surprise me if price went down as part of this ABC to form and find support around this 70.2%. Yeah, so that would be an expectation. That's an expectation I have. If you look at the RSI now on the 4-hour, well, there is not much to say about it. I mean, we had a clear 3-way run-up with a divergence being printed. We made 3 highs. The RSI failed to make 3 highs. Actually, let me check this one here. No, it's also a divergence. So we had 2 divergence, at least a divergence within a divergence of a larger duration. Now price on the RSI is below neutral, below the 50%, and is not giving any clear indication. It's a neutral zone. As part of the construction of the ABC that I talked about, and also reaching this area with the 70.2%, I would probably expect price to dip into oversold for the first part of this ABC correction. Volume-wise, same, not much. I mean, there is more volume than there was when we made the last run up. So it's clearly indicative that activity is more to the sell side. But if you look at those wicks on the 4-hour, there is probably a message that the lows are tested, but there is no close below. I mean, there was a swipe of this low here without any clear indication. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, so really nothing much to say about the technical. Now we are below resistance, even though price have really consumed a lot of the supply that was in the resistance. And we have not clearly had a sign of an aggressive sell-off as we would expect when we hit a 7-month descending trend line. So is that an indication that we will end up breaking it? Probably. It's probably. If I look now at the paper market on the future side, so the data you see is coming from velo.xyz. The chart on the top is the Binance future contract for Bitcoin on the 1 hour. Below you have the aggregated open interest, so aggregated between several exchanges, Binance, Bybit, OKX, Deribit, and Hyperliquid. The last one, Hyperliquid, I've never heard. So, but I keep it there. Below the aggregated open interest, you do have the aggregated spot tape. So from all those exchanges that I mentioned, Binance, Coinbase, Bybit, OKX, but it's printing the delta between buy and sell, okay? So when a candle is above the zero line, that's a positive delta. That means there is more buying than there is actually selling, and vice versa if it's below. So I find this to be quite informative because you can have candles printing price downwards and you see that the delta is actually positive. So that's an indication that the spot market is actually absorbing the dip. Below this one, you have aggregated liquidations. So when it's below the zero line, it's the longs being liquidated. Don't get mistaken. It's not because it's a negative that it means that the shorts are being liquidated. On the contrary, when it's above the zero line, it's the shorts being liquidated. And below is the aggregated premium. This one, I'm not going to comment on it because it's rather recent for me and I want to see how the premium is evolving together with the price. So I don't want to make conclusion on that. But if you look at the traditional open interest, so this one, you can see clearly that since the move down we had open interest going up. So that was an indication that shorts position were opening. So supporting the idea of price going down. Whereas now price is rather evolving horizontally. So consolidating, we could say, horizontally as part of this probable triangle that I was talking about earlier. You can see that the open interest has a slight slope upward. So here there is no clear indication between a dominance of the buyers or a dominance versus the sellers. What I was looking at initially was the aggregated spot tape. I wanted to see if spot market is buying the dip, essentially. So we had price go down. We had a nice flush here. Open interest was negative, went down. So longs were closing the position. And actually a lot of sell on the spot market occurred, which also is confirmed by the fact that the paper market was liquidated on the long side quite significantly. Actually, what was that? Minus 7.5 million, 7.3 million liquidated on those aggregated spot. So for such a short move down, that was quite significant to see that the spot market lost coins. Basically, this is what it means. So the dip was not bought, essentially. Now that the price is evolving horizontally, you can see that the biggest candles are on the positive side. Yeah, and they are above. The biggest one of all those candles, they're on the positive side. So do we have some sort of reaccumulation on the spot market happening here as price is evolving horizontally? Probably, but I would not bet too much. I think those one will get let go because if the counts on the Elliott wave side that I was talking about earlier is correct, then we should expect price to move down to finish the A leg of this ABC. So I would not be surprised to see another large candle of coins being sold. I think that's it for the futures. And if you look at the levels of liquidation, if you liked the content that you are actually seeing, please leave me a comment, put a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Price is really, so this is the futures, perpetual future on Binance, still the 1 hour, but I've added the pivot point for visual interpretation. Price since beginning of the week is really bouncing off the pivot without making a break of the most recent high. So I would not be surprised if price is letting go of the pivot and finding some support towards the S1 64,500 and some change. Liquidation wise, there is nothing significant until the 60, 6,500, 61,000. Yeah, so not much to see here. It's really I think there is a clear urgency to let the count unfold. Yeah, and I think the count is accurate enough, at least on the 1 hour, and we should see an E wave form. A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, we should see a price move back up for an E wave to form. At least locally, the bigger picture is moving down for an ABC to form as a wave too. That's the best count I have. This is the end of the update for Bitcoin. I hope you liked it. Leave me a comment, put a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will be speaking to you all soon for a next update. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.